Hi guys, Maikeru here. This is my video on testing out Solak. In this video I show what I've learned so far, I do some funny moments with some graphical glitches and a death montage for you all to enjoy while we're learning it. I'll speak about some of the mechanics that we've learned and how to overcome them and just what I've done so far and how I've overcome what I've done. We've managed to get to the last phase and we just need to keep improving so we can get a kill. Hopefully we'll be able to get a kill today or tomorrow, and I streamed a little bit yesterday. I may do some more of that in the future. I'm not 100% sure. It was very fun interacting with you all. So thank you everyone who showed up to that, and let's get into this video. Whoa, his arms are white for me. He's Christmas Solak. It's like a whitey blue, a red and a green. That's perfect. That looks lovely. His blue arms. Whoa, his arms look so strange. They look like clay. They're just like untextured right now. It's just like the only thing that's textured is the leaves being white. Oh look, it's being a flaming boy. The fire icon, like it's just leaves are on fire. These blue, white and green leaves. So that's a new one. Hey, his hands are different again. They're like really dark white with brown leaves. This Solak one looks awesome. It's like pinky red, white and yellow. So let's start this video off with a nice death montage of us progressing through the phases and dying to all the different mechanics of Solak while trying to learn them. Starting off Solak, he always summons two balls that are falling from the sky. They're like green meteors. You have to stand underneath them, one person on each one, otherwise you'll take about 6k damage per one that doesn't get covered. Once you've got both of those, you want to stand next to each other to minimize as much damage as possible. You can reso it to make it hit a 0, otherwise it will hit a 2.5k if you're standing next to each other. After this, roots will spawn. You want to go over to the roots and DPS them down as fast as possible. The person who's tanking will have to tank Solak while DPSing the roots, whereas whoever's not tanking him can soul split and DPS and heal up on those roots. Whoever is tanking him though, make sure you're getting some nice resonances from his melee hits, as you can resonance a good 3 to 4k consistently. The next part is where he summons roots that shoot towards you. So you want to stand near where the arrow is where they're going to spawn and then run away from it at the last second, which means they'll spawn in a small area and they'll come towards you. So as long as you're running away, you won't get hit by them. It's very good to anticipate beforehand, so if you do accidentally get hit by yours or your partner's roots, it won't stun you and you can quickly run or surge out of them. Then proceed to kill all of the roots so it doesn't spawn any ads, and then DPS Solak down. He'll put 2 bombs on the person who isn't tanking. You can reso the bomb and heal for about 4k. And the second bomb, normally you just want to tank it, so then you can then soul split up when he puts his arms down, as you take no damage when he's doing this. When his arms go down, it's a DPS race. One of you will DPS the left, one of you will DPS the right. It's good to put down a Death Swiftness or a Sunshine or Zerk or whatnot. Once the arms are dead, you have to target his legs. You want to DPS these down as fast as possible as well. Don't use too many thresholds on the legs though. Just try and use as many AoEs to help out your friend as possible. And keep 100% adrenaline for when they both die so you can onslaught the core. If you don't kill the arms or the legs in time, it will spawn loads of soul lashes and you're gonna die. So make sure you DPS fast enough so it spawns the core in the middle. When the core spawns, you want to onslaught it. You want to try and deal 125k damage, which is half its HP, so you can get this done in 2 rotations. Although if it does take you 3 rotations, it's not the end of the world, and it can be done very, very easily just in 3 rotations as well, as you use minimal food with this phase. You just repeat this multiple times until the core is dead. Going into the next phase, you want to DPS down all of the anima eruptions. You want to DPS them down together because as soon as they die, it spawns a little like heavenly beam that will take you up. You want to both stand in that, so you go up and you spam click the hell out of that core. Once you've done that, you want to surge south and cleanse yourself of your anima. With the core, you want to make sure you never ever have over 10 stacks of anima, otherwise it will start healing the core instead of DPSing it. And the lower your stacks, the more damage you deal to it. After cleansing yourself, kill the second eruption, go up, and you'll deal even more damage to that core in the middle. Spam click it again, and then repeat the process with the next eruption. Go up, spam click it, then you want to cleanse yourself for the 4th eruption, so you'll deal loads of damage to finish off that core in the middle. Once you finish off the core, that will start the next part of this phase. You want to cleanse yourself before going into this part, as you want to take as little damage as possible. The next part is where anima bombs fly up and then drop down. When they drop down, they deal a hell of a lot of damage, so make sure you're not standing anywhere near them. Just run around, DPS Solak while running around, do your best to survive. Just try not to die during this phase, as it can be very, very, very hectic. Once that phase is down, there'll be a blessing spawned to the north. You both want to click that and it will give you an extra action button. This will put down a shield. When he raises his arm in the air, you want to put down that shield just before he slams it down. He'll do like an anima blast every second or 2 on you, and if you're wearing the shield, then you take about 2k damage. You can reflect and make it go down to 1k and reflect some damage back at him, which is really nice. Using something like Reflect and Revenge in here is really, really good for damage, and it minimizes how much food you use. Once you've used your shield, whoever used it first can pick up a second one, and then the blessing will disappear. After this, he'll start doing different mechanics. So one of them is where he slams his hand into the ground. You both want to freedom and run away, otherwise you'll get insta-killed. If they don't have freedom up, you can click them to dive on them to save them from this. One of you will climb up Solak, the other one will DPS very, very hard, so then you'll take as little damage as possible. Say they don't DPS too much, or they miss a couple of their abilities or something, then you can always use Devotion with Protect from Melee to make him hit a 1 regardless. You can also get a nice resonance here as well by just switching to your shield, resonance in for that hit, and then carrying on. You want to just keep rinse repeating this phase, whatever it comes at you with. You want to put your shield down when it's doing the bombs. You want to jump on him when he puts his hand down. And when he spins around like a Beyblade, you want to make sure one of you barricades and intercepts the other one, so you both take no damage. If you do it a little tiny bit too early, make sure you get a resonance up at the end. You can resonance that last hit of that. You want to just keep rinsing and repeating and getting used to this phase, as it is a bit tricky and a lot happens all at the same time. He will also start putting the anima bomb on the person who he isn't targeting. It works exactly the same way as phase 1, just run away from your partner and you can get a nice resonance off of it while DPSing Solak. Last thing he does in this phase is he puts roots in front of him. So if he says something like it's time to die, make sure you run away from him, so when he puts the roots down in front of him, they're nowhere near you and they won't hurt you at all. If you are a little bit late to run in, you can use Anticipate, so if they do hit you once or twice, you're just not going to get stunned, so you'll be able to out-eat it. That's pretty much it for this phase. You just want to do it until that purple bar hits 0%. Moving into phase 3, it then spawns lots of circles in a ring across the outer edge of the arena, and it spawns another HP bar underneath of him that has 500k. We didn't know exactly what to do in this phase, so we just cleansed at the start. We stood in one of those circles, DPS Solak down. He would get attacked by the woman that's helping you, and he won't be able to attack back. She like onslaughts him or something. You can soul split and DPS him down during this phase, and he'll back up a little bit. Then he'll stun you both, which you want to anticipate or freedom for, and after that stun where he slams the ground, you want to stun him to get rid of the bleed on you. You want to rinse and repeat this process over and over again until you've done this phase and you've done it on top of every single circle. The only issue that we did is we never used our extra action button to go into the Shadow Realm to DPS that second HP bar of 500k with the guy in the Shadow Realm. This makes phase 4 a lot harder if you don't kill him. So in the future we're going to have to go into the Shadow Realm and DPS him down as well, and obviously do all of these things at the same time. Make sure you're cleansing your animal whenever it gets a bit too high so you take as little damage as possible. Whenever he puts a bomb on the person who he's not focusing, make sure you run away and resonance it. Then just remember, whenever he slams the ground and stuns you both, you want to stun him so that you don't get the bleed, and you just then keep repeating it over and over again on every single circle. Once you've covered every single circle, or he gets to 300k HP, it will spawn the last phase. This is the phase that's so tricky. You want one person to go into the Shadow Realm and one person to stay outside at all times. To be honest, we haven't had enough practice in this one to actually give you enough advice to know what to do. All I know is one person goes into the Shadow Realm, they DPS down the things that are attacking Solak in there as much as possible, and then the other person goes in to help them. They then barricade and intercept you. You both spam click Solak to heal him, but it damages you. So if you're both KD'd, then it won't damage you and you'll be able to heal him up. Then whoever has more HP then jumps back into the surface, DPSs him down in there. It's just very difficult, and you cannot eat while in the Spirit Realm, so you need to constantly switch between the players so that the person in the Spirit Realm doesn't die. If the person in the Spirit Realm dies, it will be an insta-kill, so make sure that you're both being on top of your calls and make sure that you're both entering and exiting at the right times. Hopefully I'll be able to get a kill sometime soon. We'll have to see how it goes, and that's pretty much it for how far we got and the tips I can give. All in all, I'm impressed with how awesome this boss is and how well Jagex have made it. Hats off to the development team, whoever worked on this boss, very good job. I am pleased on the difficulty of it. It's such a challenge and it's so fun to do. I hope more bosses are like this in the future. It's always really good when it takes someone a whole day to get the first kill, and then it just feels like such an achievement when people finally get those kills. Either way, that's it for this video. I'll do another video if I manage to get a kill and I'll speak a bit more about it. Hope you guys enjoyed this one and it was helpful with the tips I could give, and until next time, see ya.